Alright, a very good morning, everybody. Let's continue the chapter Landscapes of the Soul. Okay, so this is a very artistic chapter. It takes us to the 15th century, children, and it is talking about two kinds of art forms. One is the Chinese art form, and other one is the European art form. Okay, so the differentiation between a Chinese art and a European art is all about inside the chapter. The Chinese painter does not want you to borrow his eyes, he wants you to enter his mind. Okay, one art is very confusing, children, and the other art takes us entirely to the mind of the painter. One art is such in which you cannot define or identify that what the painter wants to say, while in the other art the painter exactly describes you what particularly he wants to say or what idea does he wants to portray. All right, so it is all about the differentiation between these two art forms going through during the 15th century. Children, we are living in 21st century, so hundreds of years ago. Let's continue reading. This concept is expressed as Sanshui, literally mountain water. Okay, Sanshui idle meaning is mountain water, which used together represent the world landscape. Okay, what is landscape, children? Landscape is a scenery. Landscape is something very beautiful and pleasing to the eyes. There are mountains, there is river flowing, good greenery, good plants. All right, more than two elements of an image, these represent two complementary poles. Okay, two complementary means two contradictory, two opposite poles, reflecting the Taoist view of the universe. Okay, the mountain is yang, reaching vertically towards the heaven. Now it is telling you about the whole explanation of the painting that was actually there. It was a landscape. All right, what was there in the landscape? In the landscape, mountain was reaching vertically towards the horizon, towards the heaven, upwards. It was going haywire. Okay, it was going in a straight line, stable, warm and dry in the sun. Okay, how was it reflecting? It was reflecting very calm, very warm. While the water is yin, yin is horizontal. Okay, horizontal as in straight, and resting on the earth. The water is shown residing and resting on the earth, fluid, moist and cool. So water is very moist as in gila. Okay, it is reflecting the power of water, how it is swaying, how it is in the lap of Mother Earth. Okay, the interaction of yin, the respective feminine aspect of universal energy. Now children, what is universal energy? Universal energy here refers to all the natural resources, land, water, sun. Okay, all these things together make the universe. Okay, these stars, mountains, sky, heaven. Okay, these words are very deep, children. Inside each word is a whole another world. All right, it is so deep and it is so presentable. It has a particular meaning towards it. What is often overlooked is an essential third element, the middle void, where their interaction takes place. Okay, so now what is shown that all of them are trying to interact with each other. All of them are trying to talk to each other. They are trying to be friendly and cordial with each other. Okay, that bond is being shown, that is amongst them. This can be compared with the yogic practice of pranayam. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, this can be compared to a yoga position. We all have heard about pranayam. We breathe in and we breathe out. So what do we feel? How do we feel when we do yoga? We feel very relaxed. We feel very calm, very composed. Same way the author is telling us that when we do yoga, we feel very relaxed. At the same time, when we see this picture, we see this portrait of a landscape which the painter has painted, we feel very calm. We feel very composed with the idea that is being shown in the painting. Togetherness. The suspension of breath is the void where meditation occurs. The middle void is essential. Nothing can happen without it. Hence, the importance of the white, unpainted space in Chinese landscape. Okay, a portion is void. Void is a little portion is empty, showing us that sometimes nothing can happen without that empty space, without that little void empty space. Okay, so that empty space is very essential. If we What happens, children, if we portray so many things, then the viewer will be confused. Okay, so in order to portray the idea correctly in the minds of the viewer, the painter has shown something void, something empty. Now children, empty, this space word holds a lot of meaning. As in, it is often said that we must give space in our relationships. Okay, whether it is father, mother, sister, siblings, whatsoever, we must give space. We must leave little bit of things empty. Why? Because when we totally engross ourselves, or someone else also comes into our life, keeps on interfering us, we don't like that thing at all. It starts becoming very irritating and frustrating. Okay, so a small piece, a little void is necessary for everything. This is also where man finds fundamental role in that space between heaven and earth. Okay, he becomes the conduit of communication between both poles of the universe. Okay children, God has created everything. God has created the universe, the earth, the planets, galaxies, constellations, everything. Everything is on one side and human being is on the other side. So what the author wants to say, that human is the only person who can witness all these things and get these things into their heads and try to elaborate everything and think about that how is everything connected. Okay children, God has given us the ability, God has given us brain, ideas, minds. So with the help of that mind, when we put that mind into creativity, into deep knowledge, we come to know about many other things that were undiscovered. Okay, so it is telling that man is one person, one being who can relate and identify the closeness between the heaven and the earth. It is said, children, we live on earth and we die, we go to heaven. So the deep meaning inside this word heaven, earth, what is actually heaven, or what happens in heaven, what is earth, what is life, all these things, all these answers only a man can give, because man has that mental capability which any other creature in this world doesn't possess. Animals, birds, creatures, small microorganisms, insects, fishes, anyone, they can't feel, they can't think, they can't relate. This ability is only there in human creature. His presence is essential as in very important, even if it's only suggested, far from being lost or oppressed by the lofty peaks. Lofty means very high peaks. Okay, only man is someone who can really explain that why the mountains are so high, why heaven is so far, why earth is so huge. Children, these are some questions which often hit our minds. Okay, we often sometimes think about it, but we have no answer. We always say we don't know, God is created It's God's magic, it's God's preservance. Okay, I think we must go through this also. Getting inside outsider art. When French painter Jean Dubuffet mooted the concept of art brut, I told you about art brut, the creation of art in the 1940s, the art of the untrained visionary ways was of minority interest. Untrained vision, as in children, not known, not particular, okay? Like not into something, not very capable of doing something, okay? From its almost veiled beginnings, veil means not sure of beginnings, okay? Uneasy, uncomfortable beginnings, outsider art has gradually become the fastest growing area of interest in contemporary art internationally. Okay, now children, this is an art form which is very creative and interesting. Okay, it is very interesting, it is very intricate as in very complicated, and this has been of high importance in the contemporary art internationally. Okay, this deep meaning, this deep untrained vision is very much popular in the minds of the seer, the viewer, and the other painters. It holds a lot of importance. This genre is described, okay, genre is described as the art of those who have no right to be artists, okay, who are not capable enough, who doesn't have such capabilities, such talents to become an artist, become a painter. Their works are stimulating contrast to lot of mainstream offerings. Contrast means very different. Their work is untrained, unmanaged, can't be really identified. Okay, so it's unusual from the mainstream. Mainstream as in the usual thing, the usual art that is happening all over. Around the time Dubuffet was propounding his concept in India, he was developing, he was encouraging his concept in India, how the Indians work. An untortured genius, untouched means his ideas have not been used much, was creating paradise. Now children, paradise word is very pure. Paradise as in heaven. When we think about paradise, we always get very positive vibes. Paradise is something which is very beautiful. We have always dreamt of paradise as something which is very beautiful, very pure, very creative, very artistic. Alright? Years ago, the little patch of jungle that he began clearing to himself, a garden sculptured with stone. Okay, so he's telling that years ago the little patch of garden which was being cleaned, sculptured with stone. Sculptured means the stones were put inside the garden. Okay, the pebbles. How do we decorate a jungle? There are pebbles, there are stones put in inside it. Okay, like this. And recycled material is known to the world today as rock garden at Chandigarh. Okay, one creative art which they are telling was a garden which was made years ago with a patch of jungle. Patch of jungle as in it was a jungle. The particular area, the particular land used to come under jungle, but then slowly the jungle began to clear and it created a beautiful garden with all the recycled material. Recycled as in all the waste material. Any material which we throw usually, but when we use it, we should use it ideally. It comes out to be very great and beautiful. And this creation can be seen at the rock garden. It is a very popular garden, children, in Chandigarh. It is basically a tourist spot. People go there and enjoy and relax themselves. Its 80-year-old creator, director Nek Chand, is now hailed means said, as India's biggest contributor to outsider art. Okay, he's hailed means he's very famous, he's popular, as in creating or giving his contribution to an outsider art, to this kind of unique art form, all right, which was not recognized before. The 50th issue, spring 2005, of Raw Vision, a UK based magazine pioneer in outsider art publication. Pioneer means very profound, very pioneer as in number one. That publication was number one in showcasing, in enhancing of the outsider art. Okay, and his rock garden sculpture Women by the Waterfall on its anniversary issues cover. So it is telling that it made this garden, made it to the publication. Okay, it was very well showcased in that entire magazine, in that publication. Okay, and people really loved it. The garden came out to be superiorly good. Okay, the notion of art, brut or raw art, children, which is not defined, you cannot define, it is about or particularly regarding a person's art form, a person's talent, which is very raw, very untrained, but it comes out to be very beautiful. As regards cultural and artistic influences, okay, anything and everything from a tin to a sink to a broken down car could be material for a work of art. Okay, anything which might be useless for us, but a talented person, an artistic person, can use it into something else. We'll be shocked out of seeing that. So this is all what artists do, children. We should respect artists. They are very great people and very creative people. Okay, they are very unique kind of people. Has taken to dizzying heights, recognizing his art as an outstanding testimony. Testimony means something which we can see. Okay, proof, a testimony, we can see, we can witness that, of the difference a single man can make when he lives his dream. It is telling that this garden or anything like that is an example that if a person wants to achieve his goals, he wants to fulfill his dream, that nothing can stop him. It is 100% sure that his hard work will really make a long way for him. The Swiss Commission for UNESCO will be honoring him by way of a European exposition of his work. Now he'll be honored, okay, by a very dignified organization, that is UNESCO. The 5-month interactive show Realm of Nek Chand. Realm means the life. Beginning October will be held at leading museums in Switzerland, Belgium, France and Italy. Now they are telling where will it be showcased. The biggest reward is walking through the garden and seeing people enjoy my creation, Nek says. Now this example has been quoted in the book just to tell you that how important an art form can be and can help for the future generations. Now children, till date people view it as a tourist spot. People feel happy. So what the creator, what Nek Chand says, that he feels very happy and satisfied when he sees that people are really happy, they are enjoying his creation. Okay, so children, the chapter was all about art, the art forms, and one of the examples of a creator and his happiness and how everything happened. Okay, tomorrow again children I'll summarize it, so that if any problem or any difficulty you are having in that particular chapter, this chapter, you'll be able to solve it out.